What's going on, everybody? It's Tim here, back at Vet Steps. So glad to be back. It's been a few months. I made that short a few months ago, around or like June, so like a month ago. But I'm really excited to be back, doing a lot of exciting things for the channel. Having a nice, relaxing summer break before veterinary school in the fall, and a big announcement. So I can say now I've confirmed where I'm going to veterinary school, and that's at LIU, Long Island University. And it's awesome. I've grown up on Long Island my whole life, and I'm right around, it's about 30, 40 minutes from the campus. So stoked to be going to LIU. Can't wait for the fall. I'm going to be going in like a month, so it's surreal. But we're going to get started today. So, this is the first video of a 32-part series on each program of veterinary medicine in the United States. And then we're going to be touching on Ross and St. George's as well after we do the 32 uh, vet schools. After we do the island schools, we're going to also touch on Matthews a little bit as well. That one is not as popular, but we'll touch on it too. We're going to do kind of like an island school video all in one. So if you guys are interested in going to an island school and applying to an island school, that video will be up soon. But in the meantime, we're going to be focusing on the schools and programs in the United States. And also, after we do the series on all these programs and all of the island schools, I'm going to be kind of delving into what's the next step for veterinary medicine, what's the new um, news in veterinary medicine, what's going on with the new schools. There's some schools that are opening up some vet schools. Rowan just opened in New Jersey. Clemson is opening one. Utah is opening one. There's one in Utah opening, and there's also one in Arkansas opening as well. So a lot of new vet schools coming into the picture, which is going to be awesome, and it's very exciting for applicants because there's just more opportunities and more spots. So here we go. We're going to be starting off with Auburn. So Auburn Vet Med. This is one of the vet schools in Alabama in the United States. So this is some just general information. Auburn is in Auburn, Alabama. You can see on the map there, it's to the east, kind of mid-east region in Alabama. It's accredited, which is important. The class size is around 125 to 130 students, and the program is 4 years, like most DVM programs. Okay, so science prereqs. Okay, so this is what Auburn requires up to this point, and all this information. Double check me. I really want to learn as well with these programs, but I've done my due diligence in kind of looking some of this information up, and all this information changes a lot. But this I'm getting all this information from Auburn's website. So look and just check there as well. But this is kind of just an overview. So these are science prereqs. C minus is required. This is some of the classes. So principles of biology. So this is like Gen Bio 1, Biology 1 with a lab, General Biology 2 with a lab, Chemistry 1 with a lab, Chemistry 2 with a lab, and then Organic Chemistry 1 with a lab, and Organic Chemistry 2 with a lab. So a few more. Physics, 4 hours, so lecture and lab usually. Biochem, usually biochem, we don't see a lot of schools requiring a lab. I didn't need a lab when I applied. So same thing with Auburn, just a biochemistry lecture. And science electives, and this is kind of the fun part. I love organic chemistry, but I really loved my animal nutrition class when I took it. So animal nutrition is up one of them. And then you can kind of go down the list. Some schools require micro and genetics, but it doesn't seem that, and even physics too. But it doesn't seem that Auburn says that you need it. All right, so non-science prereqs. You can go to this website. Some of the websites during this series are a little confusing. They're just really long, and this is kind of gets into the VEMCAS, why VEMCAS is so important, and why the Texas's schools application is so helpful, because it kind of simplifies everything, and that's why VEMCAS is great for that. When you kind of get into the specifics of what you kind of need. You don't need a bachelor's degree for veterinary school, but you do need the prereqs, and usually that includes English. It includes, oops, it includes English. It includes some sort of um, calculus, like a math or a stats class. So just look on that website, and you can just pause this video and kind of copy it right into your URL. So these are some analytics. These are interesting to me. I'm kind of really interested in vet school and just how the process works, and just not even as like a veterinary student going into vet school, but just kind of just in general on how the process works, how long it is, and how dedicated people are. Anybody going through this process, you're not alone, and it's hard. It's not easy, and I think that a lot of people don't really understand what veterinary school is about, how what the application is about. I remember talking to a few people, some of my friends, uh, you know, and I'm like, oh, I didn't get into this school, and I got into this school, and they're kind of like, okay, cool, like they were happy for me, but um, and again, like it's not to show pride or anything. It's not to show and boast around that how good I am. But I think a lot of people don't understand what vet school entails. I haven't gone yet, but even the application process, anybody who does the application itself and submits it, it's a big achievement in itself. So just remember that, even if you do get in or you don't get in. So here's some analytics for Auburn. So makes sense that the majority of people going to Auburn are from Alabama. A lot of people from Kentucky. I know a few schools have some state relationships, and they make kind of agreements because Kentucky doesn't have a vet school, so that might account for that. But it's kind of a big range here, and you can obviously see that, again, this is going to be a big trend when looking at these schools and throughout this whole series. Again, it's very important. Um, it's very important to be to make sure that you're focusing on your in-state school or those relationships with other states, as Kentucky is an example here. But 131 students was from the class of 2027, which was 2 years ago. So they're going into their third year of vet school. So this is from students that are going into their third year of vet school now, this upcoming year. All right, so some analytics. Auburn, class 131. This is, again, the class that is going into their third year this fall. 131 students. Total applicants, 1,232. Resident applicants, 184. Non-residents, 1,048. Institutional applicant to seat ratio. This is just talking about how many people there is per who applied compared to how many seats they have. So for every seat, around 9 people applied. Grade point average 3.7. So this is important. People who say to you that grades don't matter, they're not telling you the truth. Partly. Now this is this is nuanced, because people who say that it's not all about your grades, they're right, but they're not. So for example, it depends on where you want to, or you're looking. So if you're a high school student, for example, and you're going in and it's undergrad, right, and you have the desire to go to an Ivy League vet school, or a North Carolina State or somewhere like this, where their mean GPA is 3.7, right? That's important that you have that grade, right? Because that's going to be a contributing factor into their decisions, right? Because you also want to, you want to talk to vet schools, right? Don't be afraid to call up on the phone and ask an admissions counselor or an assistant dean. I remember doing it in high school, and don't make your parents do it, unless you're like really young and you're middle school or you're ninth grade. Like, your parents could do it, you could do it together. But if you're kind of more than older than 14, you can call them yourself. You're grown enough to call them. You're not an adult, but they'll respect you for it. You can call them yourself and just ask them, like, hey, have some questions. Are you a school that really heavily determines your admissions decisions based on GPA or not? And there you go. You'll have your answer, or you can email them. And emailing them is good practice as well. So the GRE is not required, especially after COVID. Not a lot of GRE exams are looked at for all students. I didn't have to take a GRE to get into my 3 schools that I got into. Um, and then there's a few more information there. Tuition fees. This is the fun part, right? This is how. This is why we all love that school, right? Because of the cost, right? No, uh, but here's all the tuition information. Obviously, again, if you look for your in-state school, a lot cheaper. Non-resident's going to be more expensive. But establishing residency at states is not a guarantee. So I would make sure that you're cognizant of that. Don't just depend on, oh, like this state is easy to get a residency in. And what I mean residency, not in the terms of like doing a residency, not like the 3 years after vet school. That's not the residency I'm talking about. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm talking about the residency in the sense of like where your license is from, like your driver's license, where you get your mail, like where you're living. That's your residency. So like New York is my residency, is where I'm a resident in. So it's not that easy to just get residency for school. So be cognizant of that. Okay, so again, more specific information. The GRE, not used. The interview, it's a 30-minute interview, virtual interview. A lot of them are virtual now. Every single one of my interviews that I had were virtual. So type of interview, not MMI, regular straightforward interview questions. So the person who is interviewing the interviewee will get a series of questions from the interviewer. This might be a teacher, a professor there at the college. This might be an associate dean. This might be someone in the industry. I remember someone saying, or finding somewhere online that it could be anybody. It really could be anybody. It's all up to um, whoever's there, but that's not really important. It's just making sure that you're being confident in your answers, giving an answer, not sitting on the fence. And that's really the most important part about interviews. Just make sure you're confident. Make sure that you're being yourself, and have fun with it. I had a lot of fun with my interviews, just because I wasn't afraid, because it's like, when you're talking about what you want to do for your whole life, and something that you've been wanting to do for a while, it's kind of second nature. So uh, don't stress. It's not too bad. And if you mess up, you got nothing to lose. So you're not perfect, and if you kind of go into it thinking that you have to be perfect, just it's not gonna work. Just stay calm, stay confident, and you'll be all right. All right. Awesome. All right. So interview invite. So this is the important information that I don't find a lot on YouTube, and this is kind of the reason why I'm making these videos. Interview invite. It's mid-December for Auburn. This was last year's data, so this is brand new data. This was my data. I didn't apply to Auburn, but I was able to find this. Um, One of the biggest, best resources that I got this information from is a website called Student Doctor Network. It's a forum that you can find some of this information on. That's where I found this. This is where I found this, and that's how I kind of was able to track every day, very stressed out, kind of when I would hear some news. But it's good to know. Last year's mid-December for interview invites, an acceptance offer or slash call um, is early February. So that was from this past cycle, and it's a little different with schools that are rolling, but we'll get into that as well. Veterinary hours, minimum hours for Auburn experience is 250. Veterinary hours is very specific. So veterinary hours is under the direction of a doctor. There are veterinary hours, there are animal experience hours, and volunteering hours, and they're all different on the VEMCAS. Veterinary hours are specifically with the doctor, and you're under kind of a doctor's supervision. You're working with a doctor, but it's not shadowing. Like you're with the like it couldn't be shadowing. I don't want to say it because like just it's under the experience of the vet. Um, and these hours again, like I don't even know if I would consider shadowing veterinary hours. But I know you have to just look it up more. But I understand that it's under a doctor's supervision. Um, Again, if you're not helping in some aspect, again, I would try to volunteer or get a job. Shadowing is great in the beginning, and I made a video on that earlier, but we'll keep going. LORs, uh, three, vet- three letters of recommendation are required and must be submitted through VEMCAS. This is for every single school in VEMCAS. So residency and internships, these are like the internships, residencies, dual programs, everything after your vet school journey. They have some dual degrees, so MS or PhD, so um, master's and a PhD. Go Tigers. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. And the next school will be out soon. Can't wait for you guys to watch this and stay tuned for more. I hope you guys learned some things and just hopefully you learned a little bit about Auburn's College of Veterinary Medicine. Have a great day, y'all.